Hand-e-Man Show with your host, Stevie. Today's episode, I'm going to teach you guys how to do an oil change on just about any car. Today, we will be using a 2002 Camaro SS with the infamous LS1 5.7 liter. Before we get started, let's talk about a little bit about safety. Things I like to use to keep myself safe. I like to use headlamps so I can see in the dark and those hard to reach spots inside the engine bay, underneath the car, things like that. I also recommend wearing non-slip shoes, but make sure you tie them up real tight so they don't fall off or slip off your shoe when they don't slip on the floor. Another recommendation is to use safety gloves. You slip them on and they fit. Or you could always use latex gloves. They fit like a glove. Or if you choose, you don't have to use gloves at all. Now, let's dive right into the project. One of the first steps when changing your oil is to remove the filler cap so that the air can go down through the engine as the fluid is draining. Now let's take that cap off. Dang it. Dang it. Dang it. Dang it. Now that that cap's off, we're ready to move underneath the car and start draining that fluid. Now we're underneath the car, it is time to start draining that fluid. First thing you gotta do is find your drain plug. On this particular model, it is a 15mm socket, and you just place it right on there. And then I always recommend taking your other hand and holding it in place to keep it in balance. But God dang it. God dang it. Dang it. Okay, I can get in there. Dang it. Dang it. Dang it. I got it. Dang it. Once the bolt's out, let the fluid drain until it is completely empty and out of the engine. Once your motor oil is done draining, it's time to replace your oil filter. I like to use a strap wrench. You place it around your oil filter, and you give it a good yank, and then you can pull it right on out. This right here is the oil filter that is on the car that needs to come off the car. Seems to be a fitment issue with getting that strap wrench on there, so I'm gonna have to figure out another way to get it off. I'll probably have to call Mark because he's got the small hands. Now we got the old filter out, it's time to put the new one in. It's always recommended to add a little oil to the edge of this O-ring here so that it seals nice and tight to the block. To do that, I typically just take a little dab of the old oil and wipe it right on there, just right on the edge there. To make sure it's got a nice little coat on there. Ooh, yeah. Make sure it's got a nice little bead of oil right on that gasket. That's looking real good. I think this is gonna seal nicely. So we successfully got our oil filter back on the car. This is our brand new black one here. Final step of the fluid removal process is to reinstall the drain bolt. As you can see, I've already started threading it. I'm going to use the same procedure as last time. Place the wrench on the bolt, and then use your other hand to support the wrench so it does not fall off. Oh, dang it. 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 The drain bolt has successfully been reinstalled. Now it's time to go to the top and start filling the fluid. Now for the fun part. It's time to start filling that fluid. First step, grab your funnel. Alright, there you go. Now when we start pouring the fluid, it'll go into this funnel and not spill all over the engine bay. Next step, grab your fluid and start pouring. For this particular project, I'm using Mobil 1's fully synthetic 5W30 motor oil. This is recommended by the manufacturer. This motor in particular takes 5.5 quarts. This right here is a 5-quart bottle. I have another small personal individual quart that I will use half of. Now let's get to filling this motor. Dang it. 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 All right. After after filling, you always want to make sure you put and tighten your filler cap back on before moving on to the final step. Final step being, check your dipstick, make sure there's enough oil in the engine. As you can see, we have enough oil in the engine. We are ready to drive. In conclusion, let's go over the procedure order. First, remove the fill cap. Second, remove the drain plug and let the oil drain. Next, we went ahead and we removed that oil filter. Then, what do? You do the opposite, put it back together. New oil filter, replace the drain plug, fill it with oil, put the cap back on it, check your levels, and you're good to go. Alright guys, it's been fun. Until next time, this has been Stevie with the Hand-e-Man Show.